Hi everyone and welcome to this class. My name is Haya and today we will be working on Kapotasana or Camel pose. Before we start, you really need to listen to this, so don't skip. Any asana or any pose that you're working towards in yoga that you want to achieve, it's very important that we understand the pose first. And to understand it, we really need to break it down so we can understand each part and work on each part, so we can have the pose as like a full asana. But in the beginning, we're going to be breaking it into sections and working on it. Let me first tell you, the better you know, the better you can work towards it, the better intention you can build and awareness. So in Kapotasana, we are working a lot on shoulder mobility. So it's very important that we think about that we have mobile shoulders, that we can open them, we can rotate them, and they can carry us in the right way. The second part is the back bend. Now, when you think back, when you're thinking like this, think also heart and chest. So we're not only bending back, because if we bend back, we are just gonna fall back. What we want to do is to push the heart to the front and bend backward. You see the difference? So you really need to think heart when you are thinking back bend. The third thing is the hips and the legs, because when we are sitting up here and we want to go down, we really need to use our glutes. So if our glutes are not strong or are not engaging correctly, we're going to be putting more weight and more pressure on the back, which is not good. So the more we can engage our glutes, the better it is. So now when I have told you all this, let's get started. One more thing. I want to tell you about the props that we're going to need. We're going to need blocks. If you are a beginner, I really advise you to get blocks. Even if you are not a beginner, blocks are really good. They will help us to support the weight. I'm going to show you a little couple of moves, not many. Not in this class, but in other heart openers I will show you how to use, but we're going to use them today to make more deep shoulder opening. And then we need a strap. If you also intend to practice yoga, I really advise you to get a strap. Strap is not only to open the chest, it has other uses. In this class, we're going to work on the shoulders and opening the shoulders. But you can use a belt, you can use anything that is not very elastic, because we don't want it to like extend and shrink. We want it to be pretty stiff. Okay, now we can get started. So we are gonna start in a tabletop position. Come into a tabletop, shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. And from here, we're gonna just do a casual cat-cow. So on your inhale, I want you to look up, open the chest to the front and drop the belly. And on your exhale, I want you to round the back and look towards your navel. Push away from the floor, feel the stretch between your shoulder blades. On your inhale, look up again, chest to the front and drop the belly. And exhale, round the spine, look towards the navel, stretch the shoulders. Inhale, look up. And exhale, round the spine. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to do a few more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, look up. And exhale. We're going to do one more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round the spine. Good. Come into a neutral position. Now from here, we're going to work on puppy pose. So from here, puppy pose is easier when we have the knees away from each other, and the more we extend our arms to the front, the more we bring it down, it's going to be difficult to come down. So if you're a beginner, I want you to start in the front, and if it's too easy, then you can walk your hand closer to you and do puppy pose. So from here, I'm gonna have my knees apart from each other, and I'm gonna start with my arms in the front, like a little far from me. I really want to push away, so I don't want to slide or fall. I want my arms and my hands to support me. From here, I can take an inhale and try to melt my chest to the mat. First the chin, and if possible, the chest. If you're here, try to stay here and breathe. If this is too hard, you can come to the front like this, but whatever feels good for you, don't force yourself, do what feels natural. So stay in your puppy pose when you have found it, and stay here for some breaths. You can take 3, you can take 5, as many as you want. Don't keep any tension in the body, relax. If you relax, it will feel easier. Good. Now I'm gonna show you how you can use the blocks to make this stretch deeper for the shoulders. So what I want you to do is to bring them to the place where you had your palms and place your hands on them. And now we're gonna drop our chest down. And here we're gonna feel more in the shoulders because we have our arms a bit higher than the chest and the chin. This way we can work on opening the chest and the shoulders more. You can stay here for as long as you want, as long as you feel like. When you're ready, I want you to bring your elbows to the floor. Come up a little, and you can come up so we can adjust our elbows. And I want you to bring your palms together, and I want you to melt your chest down to the mat. Bring your hands closer to your back and feel the really deep stretch in the shoulders. Oh, this feels so good. Opening the shoulders, making them warm and ready for our Kapotasana. When you're ready, come up. Good. Now, I'm gonna show you how to work with the strap. This one is a really basic one, but it's very useful. No matter where you are in your shoulder rotation journey, you can use a strap. I'm gonna hold this part because it sounds all the time. Okay, so I'm gonna be on the side so you can see me. But what I want you to do is to hold your strap or belt, and I want you to have your hands away from each other, wider than your shoulders, and really wide distance between them. This is where we're gonna start. We're gonna have our hands down. I want you to keep the back straight. So when we open, I don't want you to open your chest. Now we worked on opening the chest before, but not here. Here we want to keep a straight, strong back. We don't want to move the back. We just want to move our arms. So we take an inhale and we go up and back. Here, I want you to think about your arms straight. I don't want you to bend your elbows. It's important to keep them. Of course, if it feels too stiff, you should bend the elbows, but then after you are out of that pose, you need to increase the distance, because then this means that the distance is too short. And when we gonna go up and back, I don't want you to think that the move is coming from the arms. Yes, the arms are moving back, but it's the shoulders that are rotating, not the arms. So from here, I want you to rotate your shoulders and bring them up again. When we bring our hands down, it doesn't matter in the front or in the back, our shoulder blades are away from each other. But when we come up, our shoulder blades are going close to each other, and then we're opening. When you have done this a couple of times and you feel that this is easy, then we can decrease the distance between our hands. So this is the goal. The goal is that we decrease and decrease until we have straight arms that we can rotate all the way back. So now I have decreased the distance, and I'm gonna work on rotating my shoulders and my arms, bringing my arms back, and the front and the shoulders are rotating. Great. You can do this as many times as you want, as you need to. It's really a good stretch, and it's very effective. Great. Now we're gonna come back into our tabletop position. I want you to tuck your toes, and I want you to bring the hands slightly forward. And now we're gonna take an exhale, and we're gonna push up into a downward facing dog. So inhale, and then your exhale, push up. Look towards your navel. Now we're gonna go into an upward facing dog. So we're gonna inhale, round the spine, and come, open the chest. Breathe here. And then your next exhale, you're gonna push back into a downward facing dog. If the breath feels too much for you, you can breathe naturally. So I'm gonna inhale here and drop, look up, open the chest. Remember this thing I told you to, the chest gonna go to the front and the back gonna go back with the shoulders. Look up and push down to downward facing dog. Notice that I'm not bringing my weight on my legs. Like I'm not bringing my legs to the floor, to the mat. I'm keeping them hovering. And exhale. We're gonna do a couple of this. And exhale. And 2 more. And 1 more. Great. From here, I want you to lower your knees to the floor. Good. Now, when we have warmed up the body and we have worked on activating our shoulders and our back, I want you to come into this position, sitting up, kneeling on your knees. I want you to think about that when we are doing the Kapotasana, you really need to engage your glutes. Now, one way to really activate them is that you're gonna have your arms in front of you. We're gonna keep this part straight and stable, and the movement gonna happen from the knees. So this whole part here gonna move in one line, okay? So we're gonna have it here, and we're gonna squeeze our glute muscles, and we're gonna go back, back, back. See how much back you can come? Come to the front, back, and front, back, and front. Good. Just I want you to feel how it really feels to engage the muscles here. You can do that as many times as you want. From here, we're gonna now try to enter camel pose. Not the Kapotasana version with the hands on the floor, like, and shoulders rotating. Backwards, we're gonna do first a simple one. And from here, I want you to come kneeling. Or actually, we're gonna start sitting. We're gonna start sitting first, because this is easier to be seated. And I want you to bring your hands back, back, back. And try to push, push, push up. Come up, come down. If this feels too easy, you can bring your hands slightly closer towards your feet and push up, look up. Come down again. We can bring our hands backward, like we can have the fingers facing the back wall if this feels better for you. And you're gonna push up and come down. I'm gonna walk my hands closer, but if you feel you need to stay in the previous position, do that. I'm gonna bring my hands closer to my feet, and I'm gonna push up and come down. Now, from here, Something that I see people do sometimes when they struggle with camel pose is that they try to bring down and come down. And if you haven't really warmed up properly, and if you haven't tried the first one I showed you where you put your hand and push up, it can feel a little difficult, and you might have difficulty reaching your heels. So I prefer to start in a seated position first. So now I'm gonna come up slightly, and I'm gonna put my hands on my heels and try to push to the front and bring my head back. If this is too much and you cannot do it with your hands on your heels, it's fine that we are back here. Put your hand in the position that feels good for you, whatever that feels easier for your shoulders and for your chest, and push up. Now this is something I want you to work on. If you are a beginner and you haven't done this before, it's important that you properly warm your body up and prepare. Now, to go back to this Kapotasana that everyone wants to do, we're gonna come closer and closer to the wall. I was close to the wall from the beginning. I want to do this. If you're not, get closer to the wall. And we're gonna start kneeling. From here, I want you to bring your palms together, and I want you to drop back. Think about this thing that we are pushing the shoulder forward, and we're pushing this part, the hips forward, but we are curving the back and dropping the head backwards. So from here, inhale, come down, down, down. When you see the wall, try to reach it with your hands. From here, try to walk down. Stay here and stretch. Play with the stretch. Come up and sit back down. Don't rush. When you come back, don't get tempted to go all the way down. Do it slowly, step by step. Now, again, kneeling. Hands together towards the chest. We're gonna open to the front, push the chest and the hips and the chest, and then we're gonna drop back. Reach the wall and walk down. Slowly walk down. Can you reach your hands to the floor? That's great. If you can't, come up. Do this a couple of times. And if you need to take a break in between, do that, because this is very tense on the body, on the shoulders and on the back. Remember to engage your glutes, because they will ease the pressure on the lower back. Now, I'm gonna try to come all the way down and bring my head to the floor. This one, don't do it at all if you're not prepared, but if it feels okay, you can try. If you feel scared when you fall back, then don't go all the way down. So from here, hands together, and drop the head back, reach the wall, and walk down, down, hands on the floor, head on the floor. See if you can feel your toes. Can you feel your feet with your head? Come up. So this is this is something you can work on as long as you want. I just wanted to show you how to safely prepare your body and enter Kapotasana. But once you're done, you really need to restore the back. Now the back is curved, and if you round it, you will feel it's strange. So I don't want you to round it so you don't hurt yourself. When you are done, you can pause if you feel you want to do this more. But once you're done, I want you to do these twists so we can restore the spine and the back to the neutral position. Let me move this stuff on the side. We're gonna do thread the needle, so we're gonna come into a tabletop position. We're gonna inhale the left arm up, up, up. Look at it and thread it. Bring it down on the floor, shoulder on the floor, head on the floor. Once you're here, you can take your right hand, place it in the other side. Stay here and breathe. We did lots of work, lots of curving on the back. So stay here and cool down. You can stay for 3 breaths, for 6 breaths, for 10. Whatever feels good for you. When you're ready, bring your hand on the floor. Push up Now we're gonna do the other side. We're gonna lift the right hand up. Inhale, lift it up. Look at it. Exhale. Thread the needle, shoulder on the floor, head on the floor. And you can bring the left hand to the other side. And stay here for as long as you need. When you're ready, place your hand on the floor, push up. Now we're gonna come into our backs. I'm gonna show you another stretch or twist that we can do. We're gonna lay down. We're gonna bring the knees together to the belly or the chest. And from here, I want to bring both knees on top of each other, both legs. Bend knee and look on the side. I don't want my shoulder to be over hovering. I want it to be on the mat. Stay here and breathe. Now we're gonna bring them simply to the other side. Stay where you are and twist. Right shoulder, both shoulders on the floor and breathe. Stay here for as long as you need. Don't rush your body. Great. When you're done, meet me in a seated position. So this Kapotasana pose or camel pose is very intense on the entire body. I'm glad that you joined me in this class. If you have anything that you wonder, any questions, head to Instagram and DM me there. I will answer all your questions, or leave a question in the comments. Let me know how this went for you and what did you think about this class. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next class. Bye!